Hey guys, Figurecraft here, and today we have a really huge ship to go over. And I mean a huge ship. You can see it there in the background, but first, before we go over that, I did locate the book that I was talking to you about. So I'll show you the book. This is the book that you can find on Amazon that comes with a paper Titanic in it. And then when I open it up, you can see we still have some pages in here of some parts that I didn't use. They come to you in parts like this, thick papers, and you can just they're punch out, you can see. And you just cut them out after you punch them out. Here's some other details I didn't use. Here are some benches left over that were not used. There's another steam pipe. Here's the bow anchor crane. I didn't use this, but it would basically, you just take it and you fold it, you glue it together, and then you would cut it out and you would have the bow anchor crane. That's how that works. Here are the some cranes I didn't use. This right here is just a piece of paper. It's got X's where it tell you to cut it out. Here's all your instructions that shows you how to put it together. The instructions are literally at the back of the book. You can see there. Sorry, let me adjust the camera. Let me get you a little bit higher up, and then I'll get you a better view of what's going on here. There you go. There you can see there we got that. Here are some lifeboats. My lifeboats are a bit different compared to what it was supposed to be. I didn't use the lifeboat things the way they were supposed to be used. Here's what the finished model would look like. It's a 1/200 scale. And then I'll show you what mine looks like. There's a lot of modifications done on mine, but before I show you, let me find some things I gotta show you. So I'll get the wooden skewers first that I use to make certain parts. Okay, and we got the wire and all that, which is right here. I had this thing for a while. I built it a long time ago. Let me move the Titanic hatchet book out of the way and let me grab the ship and start feeding her over this way. She's pretty big because she's a 1/200 scale. Just think, this is how big our hatcher is going to be when it's done. Here is my model. And this is all paper. I mean, when you put my hand to it, you can see, especially when I grab a smokestack, you can see how big that thing is. It's gotten faded out because the area where I kept it, it was in the close to the window, and it's faded out some, unfortunately. But this bow anchor crane, we'll start with the bow anchor crane. That was made with using some of these bamboo skewers, wooden little skewers. We cut these up, we paint them, and then we glued them together to make this shape. And you can see there how there's a stick glued there, there's two pieces glued here, and then there's a big long piece glued here that stabs down into the deck, and it was hot glued on. These are thumbtacks. These are black thumbtacks painted gold on top. These are more wooden skewers that I used to try to make the bollards, painted them black. This is an anchor that I bought at a Walmart. It was like a little keychain set, and it had anchors on it, so I bought the keychain set to get me an anchor for there. I got me an anchor for there, and then I got me 2 anchors for the side, which piece of hot glue there we go. Yeah, 2 anchors for the side. You got one there. And when I turn it around here, you got an anchor there. So we got that. We have some little wire. Well, this is string. And then I made took like a little chain, cut up the chain, got the chain link pieces, and made these little cable fasteners. I did that on both sides, you can see. I used a whole bunch of the wires up here. This is like wires and the chain cut up to make these little fastener pieces right here. I made the wire right here at the front of the ship to hold that. It was originally inside of this paper thing, but the paper thing was just too thin and it didn't work, but you can see it's still there. But I made all of that. We got a little bell. I purchased like a bag of bells. They were silver. I colored the bell gold, and I put it there. I took a piece of wire, shoved it through the mast, hot glued it in place. This is the paper mast that comes with the kit. This is a straw cut to make a crow's nest. From far away, you can't really tell that that's a straw, but that's a straw that I cut to make the crow's nest. This is a straw. You can tell this is a straw. This is one of them straw that's bent. I cut it to make that. This is the paper breakwaters that came with the kit. This is a piece of paper that I made 2 circles. I made a cylinder-like thing, and then I shoved a piece of wire all the way through it to try to create the crane look. And I did that for these. This is a string glued down to the deck. Right up here, I took one of those bags that you can usually find in the store that carries taters. I took one of them tater bags, colored it with a black Sharpie marker, and I cut off a strip that looks like those little ladder things that go up to the mast. And I glued, you can see there's a little bit of red showing there where it used to be red. I didn't quite color that good. But you can see it used to be a tater bag, and I just glued that to the mast to form those ladder things that go up. Right here, I tried making the old technique, like some little paper steps to fold them and make them. I tried doing that. You can see there's our lower well deck. These cranes, these are the paper cranes that I made. This is a piece of wire that I painted white and formed it to that shape and stabbed it down inside of the paper. And this is that wire that I just showed you not too long ago. Here it is. This is this wire. Just painted white. That's what that is. You can see the detail on the cranes. Also on these cranes, if I can get it in focus, yeah. We have little strings that I put on. You can see the little strings. They basically do a thing. I don't know if I can get in here and show it to you or not, but okay, I can. They basically do a thing where it's got a split in the crane. Let me see here. I'm trying to figure out which would be the best way to do that. Hang on. I'll see if I can get my tweezers. Sorry. Let me just get my tweezers here. Let me sit you down here. Yeah, put you right there. I'll get my tweezers and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I need some tweezers to get in there. Okay, I got some tweezers. So let me grab you again. Okay, let me get you focused to where we're going to be focusing. Okay, we're going to be focusing right here. So I'm going to use the tweezers. I'm going to grab the wire. Well, it'd be better if I grab this. But you can see there, it's just fed through the anchor crane. It's got a slit, and then I just stuck the wire through the anchor crane. Like that right there, you can see it. And then this is that chain that I talked about that's just tied at the end of the wire. I did that for both sides. You can see there's the other chain hanging down. I didn't know how to represent the hooks, so I just used the chain. This right here is a piece of that wooden skewer. That's to form this little, get my tweezers. I'm getting a bunch of wires here. Get my tweezers right here. Okay, this thing. This stick thing to form this little crane thing. This is a piece of chain hanging from the string to represent that. Back here we have, this is some scrap pieces of paper that I made and put in here to form the captain's lower bridge section of whatever this air section down here is called. These 3 little poles. We got that. Over here I'm missing one. One fell off, so I'll have to remake one. And I had this thing stored away for years. I built this thing a long time ago. But I'm missing my red. It's either my red or my green little stick. But you'll see it on the other side. I had one of these cut to a shape. It was painted green or red, and it was hot glued on there. But it's fell off over the years. You got some more cables, wires coming through here. Sorry, it's kind of hard to pick up rigging. This is that bamboo skewer, not bamboo skewer, the wooden skewer stick. A long piece of it, painted black and just glued up here. Got all the cables glued to it. Let me try moving her forward a bit. Let me just move some bottles out of the way here. I got paint bottles everywhere. Alright, now we'll try scooting her forward. Come this way, Titanic. Uh-oh. I killed a figure. I'm doing good. Man. Okay. Now we're going to move it forward. Here's the lifeboats. These are the lifeboats that you would receive in the kit. They got these taped together and glued. This wire is feeded through the lifeboat. They were more higher, but over the years the paper has gotten weak to these cranes. So it's kind of held off at an angle. But this is what I was talking about. This is a good example for you of what our Titanic is missing. There's supposed to be 2 boats on the Hatcher ship like that. One hangs above the other boat. They were designed like that. And then here's all the other lifeboats hanging from strings. Up here, we have another straw from like a Coke drink, curved and glued up there. These are the paper vents that they give you. The funnels. This is why those paper pipes were not used. These are those wooden skewers glued onto the funnels. I have the paper ladder glued to the front of the wooden skewer. And then I have another piece of wood. The little paper wooden skewer cut to shape right there and then glued right there to give it the support bracket for the funnel. These are pieces of wire formed and shaped to make those steam pipes that's all over the funnel, or what do they call them in the, what are they, water pipes? I done forgot what they were called, water pipes or something. These were painted white, but you can see over the years the paint has started to come off and it's showing the straw again. This is a piece of wire that I formed into shape, painted, and just stuck it down into the deck. We have a string tied to it, which comes up here to those. This is a, I made this myself. This is all paper detail that I just made a cylinder. I cut some strips of paper, glued it across the cylinder to form the tops of the funnels. I did that for that one and that one. That one. And then back here, we went a little bit different because that's the way the back one looks. So we made that little piece. Oh, this ship is so big. And yeah, you can see it to my hand right there. This thing is massive. I can't wait until we get the Hatcher ship fully built because it's going to be literally this big We're gonna have a boat this big. That's lead pencil. I took a lead pencil and drew all of the railings because they were just plain old white railings on these parts up here. They had no detail, which I thought was strange because up here at the front of the bow, they printed the detail on the railings, but over here, they printed the detail on the outside, but when it came to the inside, the detail was not printed. So I'm like, yeah, I'm fixing that. Here's some more steps that we made. We got some more steps right here that we made. This was a quite a doing. This is the compass tower. I cut out the form. There's some wire inside these brackets here to form the shape of the wire. These are some wire railings that I made with a curvature, and I just stabbed them through the paper and stabbed it through the paper of the deck. That was colored in by lead pencil. You can see we got some more straws here. Going back to the next funnel, here's a whole lot of wire detail that I made. Bent some wire into the shape of those steam pipes, like I said. Stabbed it through the paper right there. These are little paper hatch covers that I made, which I just made some paper squares. Took my little micro drill bit, drilled some holes to form those little things right there. Here are some of the deck benches. Speaking of that, we got one right up here. Right there, I missed it. This thing's a little bit dusty. The rigging has been done from the bottom of the ship. I'll show you what the bottom looks like here in a minute. But it goes through the pipes. It's a long piece of thread that just goes and comes out and then goes back through, comes out that funnel, and so on throughout the ship. There was a lot of rigging when it comes to Titanic. Oh, I dread that when we come to that in our model that we're building from Hatcher. The rigging is not fun. All the rigging on the lifeboats. More lifeboats hanging off the side. I went for the style where they're hanging off the side because I kind of like that look. Even though they would have been, you know, positioned a different way. I kind of like the look of where we could say that this is when they were, you know, doing the lifeboat drills maybe for the test. When they were testing lifeboats and everything. If they even did test lifeboats, I can't remember. This is where you'll see that the coloration is changing, where the sun's hit it and it's dyed out the color. You can see there in the funnel. And when I come to the back of the ship here, you can see the red's going kind of a little bit light, especially when you get to the very back of the ship right there, where it's faded out. But here's some more details. There's another piece of wire. Right here. Another piece of wire right there that I cut into the shape and glued. There's some more rigging or not rigging, but more pipes made out of wire and painted. Here's another piece of wire right there. Now here's a good example. You see how the mast turned gray there? It's supposed to be red, like a red-brown. That's where the sun got it. Up here we have some more rigging. It is so hard to keep the rigging straight. Even with this big model, I couldn't keep the rigging straight. Titanic had some very interesting rigging. And it is so hard to keep that rigging straight. But right here, here, yeah, I can show you a better example of the anchor cranes back here. You can see there, that bench seen better days. It got faded out from the red-brown color, that one too, from the red-brown color to fading to the gray. When I put this back where I have it, I'm going to get it away from that window so it doesn't dye it out anymore. Because, I mean, it just went to town on dyeing it out. Alright, we'll put that there. More details right there. We'll go back here. Okay, we're right here. Let me get my tweezers. And I'll try to show you right here of how this is done. If it ain't glued in, I can't remember if it's glued or not. I don't think it is because I don't remember gluing it. But maybe I have. Let me just set you down here and get you at an angle to where you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, you're good there. Let me look about this. Yeah, that one's been glued. Okay, I'll try the next one down. I'll try this one. Maybe they've all been glued. I thought I had one, though, where one wasn't glued. Unless they kept falling out of place and I got sick and tired of it and glued them in place. That could be it. I can never get a hold. Oh, we got one. Uh-oh. That was a bad idea, wasn't it? I pulled the chain off. Okay. I'll fix that later. But anyway, it's glued in place, but it would have been, you know, normally fed through the thing. But I didn't mean to pull that off. Accidents happen, but it can be fixed. There's some more wire into the crane right there to form the shape. We're going to the back. We got all kinds of straws. More thumbtacks. That's one thing I got to do. I got to eventually get an anchor to go back here, because Titanic did have an anchor back here. I'm thinking back then when I built this model when I was a kid, I didn't know much about it, and I didn't know about the anchor being back here. Or I forgot. Because I built this thing probably when I was, I want to say, 13 or 14 years old. I'm 32 now, so yeah, that tells you how long it's been. Alright, let me turn this ship around. We'll get that chain glued back on after I get the video made. Alright, now let me get you back here. And then right here we have Titanic Liverpool. You can see all the detail that goes into making this thing. That's just a nameplate that you glue in place. You can see there where it's been cut out and glued on. Here's the back. This is another wooden skewer glued in place to form that little pole. You can see the little wheels are there. It's got some detail. I'll turn it around and show you in a minute. These are some more wooden skewers to make the bollards that I painted black. There's some more anchor cranes. Ain't gonna pull on no more anchor cranes. I learned my lesson from the last one. Alright, turn this thing around. If I can just get it. This thing is so huge it's hard to maneuver. Okay, now I'll show you the detail. There you go. You see it's got detail printed on it. It's just on the other side. Don't know why they didn't do it on both sides, but that's just the way it is. You can see there we have some more detail. You can see back here though where it has faded. It's on this side. This is the side that got faded. See the red? How it just faded out when the sun hit it? I didn't mean for that to happen. Especially right here at the funnel, you can tell where it really faded. Right there too. There. And it kind of looks awesome though, because it kind of looks like it gives the funnels highlights. Does it not? More details. Lifeboats have really collapsed over the years. There's the red stick. Okay, the other one was the green stick. I gotta make another green stick. But yeah, you can see right there, there's a red stick right there. And there's the detail. The figures that you see in the background right there, well, that's papercraft in there. That's like that Icarus. But those are figures. It's Pyra and Mithra from Xenoblade Chronicles. We'll be going over them at a later date. Don't worry about that. I got a lot of figures I want to go over. I'm just doing it slowly at a time. There's the 2 collapsible lifeboats up there. Those were made. It did not have these supports. You just glue them down to the deck. Right here, these supports. I made those out of paper, cut a V shape in them, glued them down to the deck, and then placed the lifeboats in. You see up there we have the detail of the captain's bridge. There was a whole lot of stuff that was made for this model that I modified myself. Here you can see here from the side right here, you can see how the mast really died out. Look at all that rigging. I mean, that is just a ton of rigging in the ship. We got a, looks like a hot glue string there. Yeah, that's a hot glue string. Probably best not to pull on that. You can see there where the cable's loosened. But that's fine. I'm not going to pull on anything. I don't want to break anything else off. Be my luck. Anyway, let me just sit you here, tilt you down, and I'll flip the Titanic on her side and let you see underneath how everything is situated. Okay, here's the underneath of Titanic when you build the model. You have these open spaces all the way up and down through the ship. You can see it has no bottom. But when you get down in here, there's where you can see the cable coming through, which is just a piece of string. Holes drilled into the thing to do that. Over here, you can see right here where I've got the cables taped in place. That's for the funnel rigging. All the way down. That one right there too, funnel rigging. That's all funnel rigging you're seeing. Let me grab her, pick her up, move her down this way. We'll get right here. Here's some more cables that come through. There's more funnel rigging. Here's right here those 2 wires that you saw on the compass tower. This is where they're stabbed through. That looks like a spider got in here and made his home. That's what's left of his nest. Stupid bugs. There too. Makes sense spiders be living in this thing. There's the thumbtacks stabbed through. You can see there's my wooden skewers stabbed through. We'll look about that at the back too. Yeah, stabbed through. Let me see if I can zoom you out. Yeah, you can see here when I pick her up and I flip her back over how big this ship is. And this is a 1/200 scale, because on the book it literally says 1/200 scale. I'll show you the book again. See, 1/200, 53 inches. But it's a very nice model. I mean, if you want to get a hold of this, they should still sell it on Amazon, hopefully. Just look for that book, and when you buy that book, it has this model included. You just got to do all the modifications like I did on mine if you want it to look like mine. Which ain't too hard, you know, wooden skewers, pieces of wire, bending it to make the shapes, testing, fitting it, painting it. The hardest part is coming up with the exact color paint to match the already printed funnels. But yeah, that's this has been my Titanic paper 1/200 scale model. That's going to do it for this video. And when I come back, we'll be going over the next Titanic build from Hatcher Tuesday. But until then, you all have a blessed one, and I will see you guys in my next one. And goodbye.